one of the essential tools of web development is for us to be able to will enable us to upload files is an FTP client. Okay, so we have here www.000webhost.com. So this is an example of a web a, of a website that offers free web hosting. So zero cost website hosting with PHP, MySQL, cPanel, and no ads. Okay, so we actually chose triple W, or I actually chose triple W 000webhost.com, since basically it doesn't cost anything, and at the same time also it's very much what we need, because we need to work on PHP, so we have PHP, and our database is MySQL. Okay, so there's two ways, by the way, on how to upload files. So the first one is via their or actually in any other, even in other web hosting, is that we can upload files via their web interface, which I'll be showing you later, or via Filezilla. Okay, so Filezilla is an example of an application that also enables us to upload as well as download files from the internet. Okay, so let me just try to show you what is Filezilla. Okay, so this is actually Filezilla. So Filezilla is an example of a file FTP client, wherein we can actually upload and download files via Filezilla. Okay, so I'll be showing you how to use this one later, but we need to get some information first on our website, or on our web host, in order for us to be able to connect to to the service that we need on Filezilla. Okay, so going back to our web host. Okay, let me try to open it again. Okay, now on web host we have here sign in button. Okay, so decide to click sign in. So we will be redirected to /cPanel login. Okay, so we can log in via Hostinger or Facebook or Google. Now, since basically we've been using this one since 2020, I've been using this particular service since 2020, and I've already attached my email to it. I can just click log in with Google. So I'm going to click log in with Google. So I'll be asked what account I wanted to use. So I'm going to use my primary account. Okay. And I will be redirected to my website list. Okay, my websites. So we have here my websites. Select a website to manage or create a new one from scratch. Now the very first option here, we have here IH Lopez. Okay, so this is our very first website. So this is the very first website. This is one of the very first websites that I created in webhost. Okay, so we'll just be using this one to test it out for testing purposes. Now, if you were to click this drop down button, okay, so we have here view site and view details. So let's try to click for the meantime details. So what are some of the details that is included on our website? So this is a short overview of your website details. These are some of the technical details or technical information of our website. So we have here active since 2020-08-14. So this has been active since August 14, 2020. Okay, not 2028. Sorry, by the way, it's 2020. Then this, if I were to click this link, ihlopez.whatever 000webhost.com, I will be redirected to this particular URL. Okay. Then I also have a statistics link. So currently I'm using 0.02 of my 300 MB bandwidth. Disk usage is 0.1 out of 300 MB. So 300 MB is actually more than enough for what we are going to need, especially for just using files. So we don't need large amounts of disk storage, not unless we are going to host or we're going to store informations, lots of informations, or lots of physical files such as images, actual files, and so on. Okay, so inodes 32 of 100, sent email 1 of 50. So you can actually send also email here via web host. Okay, now this is my FTP details. So I'm going to use this one later to log into my using my FTP client or FileZilla. Okay, so I have here files. This is my host, files that webhost.com. Then my username, then my password. I've already changed my password, so there's no need for me to change my password. So if you want, you can change your password to something which you can easily remember, or actually it's up to you. But I would suggest that you try to use the default password so that at least it will be a lot secure. Next is we have here folders to upload the files. So you have here public underscore HTML. I'll be talking about this later. Public underscore HTML once we have already set up everything. Then of course we have FTP clients. We have FTP web FTP clients. We have your web file manager, Smart FTP, and FileZilla. Okay. Now, web file manager is a web interface wherein we can upload and download files uh, through web host. Okay. But one of its downside, by the way, is that we need to upload it one by one. We need to upload the files one by one, so we don't want that. I would rather use FileZilla because for once it's a lot faster, and at the same time also I can just upload everything, forget it until the time that everything is done. Okay, you don't need to upload it one by one or individually. Okay, so name servers, I won't be talking about name servers. Okay, so let's try to I would suggest you try to get a or try to open your notepad and try to copy the details such as your host, your username, and password. Okay, then let's just try to click close. Okay, this time I'm also going to talk about our web file manager. Okay, so let's try to click our web file manager. Okay, so we will be redirected to our web file manager. Okay, so this is our web file manager. Now, on the left-hand side, you have here set web address, file manager, database manager, and email manager. So I won't be talking about how to use your database manager as well as email manager. I just be talking about file manager. Okay, because we only wanted to be able to upload files. Okay, at the same time also edit files online. So I'll only be tackling this particular topic. Okay, so let's try to click upload files to see. Okay. So we are currently being redirected. Now we have here two sets of folders. We have here public underscore HTML and we have temp. Now usually by default all of the files is uploaded in public underscore HTML. Now the equivalent of a public underscore HTML in your XAMPP is your htdocs. Okay. So if I were to click this folder, by the way, don't erase public underscore HTML. Never erase public underscore HTML. So I already have here, going back to public underscore HTML, we have here activities, exercises, and .htaccess. So we have already created these three files, activities and exercises, with my previous classes. These are all what's inside my public underscore HTML. Okay. Now, what if we want to create a new file, by the way? So, in order for us to create a new file, what we can do is there's a document here with a plus sign. In order for us to create a new file, if you want to create a new folder, what we can do is you can just click the folder icon with the plus sign. So, let's try to create a new file. Click a new file. Okay, let's try to rename this file index.php. Then let's try to click create. Okay, so we already have created our index.php. Now, if we were to view this website, by the way, what we can do is, okay, let's try to view this website. I'm going to open a new tab. Okay. So as you can see, it's on the uh, it's empty. There's no information whatsoever. There's no file. There's no text whatsoever. Okay. So what we need to do next is we need to edit the file so that at least we can see what that there's an index.php that's been already uploaded. So I'm going to click this link, then edit. We have here edit. The icon for edit, by the way, is this pen. So I'm going to click edit. Then let's try to create, try to write something. Okay. PHP info. Try to check. Then save. Okay. Then going back to if you want, by the way, when you try to click save, it will just reload the whole page. If you want to click save and if you want to close after saving, then all you have to do is just click save and close. Okay, but I just click save. Okay, so going back here to our FTP, I don't know, to our website. Going to click reload. Okay, so this is my this is already the content of my index.php. So we have here, these are the different technical or PHP details. But this is the PHP version installed on my on their local machine. Now, let's try to go back here first. Now, why is it that we have here index.php and not default.php or not home.php? In Apache, by the way, every time that it encounters a file, it could be index.php, index.html, or index.htm. It will be the default opening. It will be by default it will be open first. Okay, that's one of the good things about having a Linux server. Okay, but let's say for example we're dealing with Microsoft or IIS. I think the very first default file is default.htm, default.html, or default.asp. Those are its very first, what the server would look, those are what the server would look for, and that's it will be opened initially. Okay, so in our case, since we are dealing with PHP, so we'll just have to use index.php. Okay, so okay, let's try to edit some more files. Let's try to edit first. Okay, let's try to check. Try to add an HTML file. Uploaded and edited via web interface. Okay, then try to click save and close. Try to preview. Okay, so we have here uploaded and edited via web interface. That's how you would normally edit your files here. If you want, you can also create a folder. You have your create folder. Then again, it's up to you. If you wanted to create a folder, it's up to you actually to manipulate everything. But just don't delete that htaccess as well as your public underscore HTML, okay, and temp. Now, what if we want to use, let's say, for example, our Filezilla? Okay. By the way, I'll be adding a link on where you can download Filezilla later. Okay. What if I want to use Filezilla? Okay. So let's try to go back to File Manager, then Home. Going back here, Home. Website settings. Set to general. Okay. Now, we have our FTP detailed information. So we can transfer FTP. We can do transfer via FTP, host name, port, and username, as well as your password. Now, we already added earlier the password and the username, as well as the port and the host name. Okay, so I'll just be showing you how we can actually add it all again. Okay, let me just try to shift to FileZilla. Mm, FileZilla. Okay. Okay. So we have here FileZilla. So if you want to create a new session, you can just click File, then Site Manager. Okay. So I already have here my account. Let me just try to rename it a little bit more. Uh, hmm. Then I have here for protocol, I have here file transfer protocol. These are the different protocols, but let's just try to stick with FTP. Now I also added here files that www.webhost.com. Then for port, just try to specify 21 since it's the default port used by um, webhost. Encryption explicit, logged in normal. You have your username and your password. Okay. So now let's try to connect. Let's try to just click OK so that it will be saved. Then let's try to click connect this time. Now, once you have successfully connected or established, once you have successfully established a connection, you will be prompt. Okay, let me just try to show you. Resolving address and so on, connecting, connection established, waiting for welcome message, initializing TLS, verifying certificate. Okay, so connection established. We have already here our connection is established. Now we have logged in and retrieving directory listing. Okay, so if you've been prompt as a connection closed by server, just don't worry because it's still very much open. What it would normally do is it's being closed since there's no activity whatsoever from the server. But we can actually see the different folders much like what we have seen a while ago. Okay, so let's just try to click this time public HTML. Okay, retrieving directory listings. Failed to retrieve directory listings. Okay. Mhm. Entering passive mode again. So automatically, FileZilla will again relog in. Okay. Is your current session command LSD response passive mode. Failed to retrieve directory listing. Okay, let's try to relog in again. Maybe there's some issue. Okay. So to connect. Establish connection in new tab. Let's just try to abort previous connection and connect in a new in current tab. Wait, there's a new connection closed by the server. Okay, so let's try to make a connection again. Click, then connect. Abort previous connection and connect in current tab. Okay, let's just click OK. If just in case you're disconnected to the disconnected with the server, just try to reconnect it. Just try to reconnect all over again. So here we can see the file name already. So double click, just double click, then that's it. There's no need, by the way, to uh, do anything. Just try to reconnect it again. Now, as you've noticed, you already have your index at PHP. Now, as what I've said also earlier, you can directly edit your files using FileZilla. But I wouldn't suggest that you try to edit whole bunch of files. I would still suggest that you try to work on your files, especially if you're doing layout and doing lots of coding in your local machine. Just like if you have XAMPP installed, try to do it on an XAMPP, then just upload the files that have been altered or modified. Okay, so let's try to click this. Let's try to make some modification on the file that we did earlier. So I'm going to right click. Then we have here view and edit. Okay, so as you've noticed, let me just try to show you. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, defaults. Okay, so this is the file that we have downloaded via FileZilla. Okay, let's try to make some changes. Try to upload it and edit via web interface. Try to add some code. Upload it and edit via FileZilla. Okay. Then just save the file. Close. Okay. Um, Wait. Okay. So we will be asked previously opened has been changed. File name index.php server and so on. Okay. Just click yes. I would suggest you also try to use this one. Finish editing and delete local file. Just click yes. Okay. Then it will be uploaded automatically via FileZilla. Okay. So it will be uploaded automatically. Next, let's try to view it on our Opera. Okay. Going back to our Opera. So this is the first text that we have done, and this is the second text that we have done. Okay, so that's how you would normally edit in FileZilla. Okay, now this is the standard way of doing things or uploading things via the web. Yep, it's very much the same, even with other web hosting providers such as GoDaddy and other applications out there. It's very much the same. All you have to do is just use FileZilla. But again, if you want to use Terminal, you can use Terminal, especially if you wanted to change certain permissions, or if you wanted to create jobs, cron jobs. But I wouldn't suggest, since we're just basically still learning, I wouldn't suggest that we try to upload it via Terminal. I would still suggest that we try to use FileZilla, okay, because that's the easiest way of uploading files via our FTP server.